Hey, what's up everybody? Maurice Jamal with GLO TV. The hottest ticket in town in Washington, D.C. tonight is the Phoenix Dinner. It's the end of the Congressional Black Caucus's annual legislative session. This dinner is a who's who, not only of Black Washington, but all of Washington. And the keynote speaker, none other than President Barack Obama. Let's check it out.
I know you've spent a good deal of time during CBC weekend talking about a whole range of issues and talking about what the future holds, not just for the African American community, but for the United States of America. I've been spending some time thinking about that too. The very first CBC dinner, the great actor and activist, Ossie Davis, told the audience America was at a crossroads. And although his speech was magnificent and eloquent, he boiled his message down to a nice little phrase when it came to how America would move forward. He said, "It's not the man, it's the plan." It's not the man, it's the plan. That was true 40 years ago. It is true today. When I took office, our economy was on the brink of collapse. So we acted immediately, and the CBC acted immediately, and we took steps to stop the financial meltdown and our economic freefall, and now our economy is growing again. We're in a different place than we were a year ago or 18 months ago. And let's face it, taking some of these steps wasn't easy. There were a lot of naysayers, a lot of skepticism. There was a lot of skepticism about whether we could get GM and Chrysler back on their feet. There were folks who wanted to walk away, potentially see another 1 million jobs lost, but we said, we've got to try. And now U.S. auto industries are profitable again and hiring again, back on their feet again, on the move again. That's why we passed health insurance reform. That's why we passed Wall Street reform, to finally crack down on the predatory practices of some of the banks and mortgage companies. We passed tax cuts for 95% of working families. We expanded national service from AmeriCorps to the Peace Corps. We recommitted our Justice Department to the enforcement of civil rights laws. We changed sentencing disparities as a consequence of the hard work of many in the CBC. We started closing tax breaks for companies that ship jobs overseas so we can give those tax breaks to companies that invest right here in the United States of America. We ended our combat mission in Iraq and welcomed nearly 100,000 troops home. That's why we made historic investments in education, including our HBCUs, and shifted tens of billions of dollars that were going to subsidize banks and made sure that money was giving millions of more children the chance to go to college and have a better future. That's what we've been doing. We've had a historic legislative session. We could have been just keeping things quiet and peaceful around here, because change is hard. But we decided to do what was hard and necessary to move this country forward. Members of the CBC have helped deliver some of the most significant progress in a generation. Laws that will help strengthen America's middle class and give more pathways for men and women to climb out of poverty. But we still got a long way to go. Too many people still out of work. Too many families still facing foreclosure. Too many businesses and neighborhoods still struggling to rebound. That a lot of people may not be feeling very energized, very engaged right now. A lot of folks may be feeling like politics is something that they get involved with every 4 years when there's a presidential election. but they don't see why they should bother the rest of the time. Which brings me back to Ossie Davis. Ossie Davis understood it's not the man, it's the plan. And the plan is still unfinished. For all the strides we've made in our economy, we need to finish our plan for a stronger economy. Our middle class is still shaken, and too many folks are still locked in poverty. Now, remember, the other side has a plan too. It's a plan to turn back the clock on every bit of progress we've made. To paraphrase my friend Deval Patrick, the last election was a changing of the guard. Now we've got to guard the change. Because everything that we are for, our opponents have spent 2 years fighting against. They said no to unemployment insurance, no to tax cuts for ordinary working families, no for small business loans, no to providing additional assistance to students who desperately want to go to school. That's their motto. No, we can't. There are those who want to turn back the clock. They want to do what's right politically instead of what's right, period. They think about the next election. We're thinking about the next generation. We can't think short term when so many people are out of work, not when so many families are still hurting. We need to finish the plan you elected me to put in place. And I need you. I need you because this isn't going to be easy. And I didn't promise you easy. I said back on the campaign that change was going to be hard. Sometimes it's going to be slower than some folks would like. I said sometimes we'd be making some compromises and people would be frustrated. I said I could not do it alone. This wasn't just a matter of getting me elected and suddenly I was going to snap my fingers and all our problems would go away. It was a matter of all of us getting involved, all of us staying committed, all of us sticking with our plan for a better future until it was complete. That's how we've always moved this country forward. Each and every time we've made epic change, from this country's founding to emancipation, to women's suffrage, to workers' rights, it has not come from a man, it has come from a plan. It has come from a grassroots movement rallying around a cause. That's what the civil rights movement made possible. Foot soldiers, like so many of you, sitting down at lunch counters, standing up for freedom. What made it possible for me to be here today? Americans throughout our history, making our union more equal, making our union more just, making our union more perfect, one step at a time. That's what we need again. So I need everybody here to go back to your neighborhoods, to go back to your workplaces, to go to churches and go to the barber shops and go to the beauty shops and tell them we've got more work to do. Tell them we can't wait to organize. Tell them that the time for action is now, and that if each and every person in this country who knows what is at stake steps up to the plate, if we are willing to rise to this moment like we've always done, then together we will write our own destiny once more. Thank you, God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.